Alright. Welcome to SideboardMTG. My name's Eric, and we've got another last chance for you guys. This is the last chance in Standard for Module Tron. For those of you that don't know what Module Tron is, there are 3 modules that were printed in Kaladesh, and, well, the block. And they were animation module, decoction module, and fabrication module. And the goal is to be able to get all of them onto the battlefield, do some crazy things, you know, infinite creatures, energy, all kinds of crazy stuff. Anyway, hope you guys like the show tonight. My name's Eric, and I've already done that, so we're going to move on into this. It's going to be one of those. It's going to be one of those, guys. All right, what's up, everyone? How's everyone doing? We've got a pretty cool deck here for you, and I played a couple different versions of this deck in the past. There were some different ways to do it. All in all, I decided to just not go with the Grixis theme, not go with the Teamer theme, just go with a straight Izzet Module Tron, and that's what we've done here today. We've got animation module, and I'm going to go ahead and read this and explain it to you guys. There are 1-drop, a 2-drop, and a 3-drop. So the 1-drop is animation module, and it's whenever one or more +1/1 counters are put on a permanent you control. You may pay 1 generic mana. If you do, create a 1/1 colorless servo artifact creature token. And then the second mode on the module, and they all do have the second modes, you can pay 3 and tap it. Choose a counter on target permanent or player. Give that permanent or player another counter of that kind. So technically, I mean, you could pay 3 if someone already had infect. You could give them more infect, or if they have energy, you could give them more energy, including yourself. If your creatures have counters on them, you would put an additional counter of that type on them. So you could also even put a loyalty counter on a planeswalker with this. So there's a lot of different things that you can do with this. Now, we're not running planeswalkers. That's just not where we're at. This is kind of more of a little bit of a combo deck. I will go ahead and mention one of the little combos that are with this deck. It's not an infinite combo, but if you have an animation module and you call servos with your metallic mimic, and then and your metallic mimic, hopefully you have your other modules down. You know, metallic mimic will enter the battlefield. But if you have called servos with metallic mimic, and then you get a trigger for your animation module some way, you can then start just pumping your mana into servos, and each one of them will come down as a 2/2 servo. Now, there's only 1 metallic mimic in the deck, but we do have ways to go get that. We've got Whirl of Invention, things like that, that we can just, you know, improvise down. Instant speed at the end of their turn, we can go get a metallic mimic or something of that nature, or the other part of our module, that Module Tron, we need. So just like normal Tron, you do need ways to go search up your modules. Now, the most important module in this deck is going to be Decoction Module. Now, this is our 2-drop module, and whenever a creature enters the battlefield under your control, you get 1 energy. Now, you guys might have seen this in the Flashing Miners deck. It's very, very important to what we're trying to do here. So, Decoction Module says that you know, we're going to get that energy every time a creature enters the battlefield. The second mode on it, of course, you know, pay 4 and return a creature you control to its owner's hand. This way you could just replay that creature, get another energy, that sort of thing. And then we get Fabrication Module. 3 mana. Whenever you get 1 or more energy counters, put a +1/1 counter on target creature you control. Now, if you guys look at these all together, of course, the second mode, pay 4, tap it, and you can get an energy, which will then give you a +1/1 counter. So it's 4 mana to get counters. Now, I probably should have threw a couple copies of Walking Ballista in this deck. I kind of just neglected to put Walking Ballista in the deck. It probably would have fit really well, because the plan here is to get our modules down. Then any creature is going to trigger Decoction Module, which will trigger Fabrication Module because we got an energy. Then, after we've gained an energy, we will also be able to make a creature for 1 mana, we'll be able to make a creature, which will then give us another energy when it enters the battlefield, which will give us another +1/1 counter, which would give us another chance to pay 1 and get another creature. So I think you guys kind of see how that works. Now, ways to do that is we've got Gluttonous Grain to help us find our modules, and it's also a really good house to put those +1/1 counters on, because, you know, we're flying, we're in the air, that sort of thing. But this is not the only flyer we've got. We've got a number of ways to actually get some flyers. Most of those, well, actually all of those except for Gluttonous Grain are going to be Thopters. Now, we can get Thopters with just playing a Maverick Thopterist, which, if we have some modules, that's not very hard, you know, because Maverick Thopterist only costs like 2 mana if we have, you know, a couple artifacts down on the battlefield. Now, you'll notice I'm not playing 4 copies of Maverick Thopterist, and that's because we don't actually have as many artifacts as a lot of other decks would. Now, Maverick Thopterist will give us 3 triggers on our Decoction module, which would give us 3 triggers on our Fabrication module, which would give us 3 triggers on our Animation module, assuming we had Module Tron online when the Maverick Thopters came down. But that's not the real combo here. The real combo is if you somehow, some way, got 3 copies of Decoction module down, and you play a Whirler or Virtuoso, you make 1 Thopter for 3 energy, you're going to gain 3 more energy. And then you can make yet another Thopter, and then another Thopter, and another Thopter. So one of the things we're going to be trying to do is make sure that we have 3 energy in the bank when we play our Whirler or Virtuoso, and that's going to allow us to at least start making some Thopters. And the best part is, I mean, at least if you have a couple, you know, stored up energy, something like that, even if you only have 2 Decoction modules down, you're talking about making Thopters at a net cost of only 1 to 2 energy each. If you thought Whirler was good before, it's really good with some modules. Now, this deck would probably run better, and some of the versions I have run of this deck just did not run Animation module. It is by far the weakest one. Psi probably should be in here, but again, you know, we don't actually have the artifact count to really push Psi. So I actually just held off of running Psi, but he would fit pretty well in the deck, especially if we had a couple more artifacts. But the artifact count's not as high as I would like it to be for a Psi deck. So other than that, yeah, I think Psi could be in here. Psi's going to get some. He's going to get some play. I don't think that we really have to, you know, try to stick Psi and everything. But Psi is actually would probably fit really well, especially if we had a couple more artifacts in the deck. Now the rest of the deck is made up of some removal here and some draw spells, and that is Harness Lightning to you know, just give us some energy. That's going to trigger our Fabrication module, which will trigger our Animation module, which will make us some extra dudes. And that's even if we spend that energy. So we're going to be able to do some things with Harness Lightning, and we can always just target our own Whirler Virtuoso at instant speed and put 0 energy into it. This way we have 3 energy to make a Thopter, so that we can kind of keep going with that Thopter you know, army that the plan is to build that Thopter army. So other than that, we've got a Braid for obvious reasons. A Braid is an absolutely terrific card, dealing 3 damage to target creature or destroying target artifact at instant speed. Now the last card in the deck is Reverse Engineer. Now this is going to be one of the best uses of Improvise along with Whirl of Invention. Reverse Engineer is a sorcery, but it will possibly allow us to draw 3 cards for 2 mana, and that is pretty good, guys. That, I'm no lie, that's a great feeling. Pay 2 blue mana, draw 3 cards, seems great. Now in the sideboard here, we've got a couple toys to play with. Aether Sphere Harvester. It'll enter the battlefield. With the trigger on the stack to gain energy, you can actually go ahead and crew it up with something like a Thopter, and then when you have your fabrication module triggers and things like that, you can always just put those counters on your Aether Sphere Harvester, gaining a ton of life when this thing starts hitting. It will become very, very hard to burn it out. A Braid is pretty much, the worst nightmare for Aether Sphere Harvester. I really like this card, and I'm going to hate to see it go. We've also got a Crook of Condemnation. Now, this is another artifact. It's going to allow us to kind of pick at the graveyard or just pay 1 mana to exile all the cards from all graveyards. Now, we've also got Fiery Cannonade. Now, yes, this will more than likely wipe our Thopter army away, but we could have 2 or 3, Thopters that are just huge and can live through it. But just having a way to kind of wipe the board is definitely something that we're interested in. Of course, we've got Negate because we're a blue deck, and what good blue deck doesn't have a couple copies of Negate in the sideboard? Shielded Aether Thief. Now, this is one that a lot of people may overlook, but this thing is actually terrific with Fabrication Module. As it has flash, they could be swinging in thinking there's nothing coming. All of a sudden, you've got a flash 1/5 because as soon as you declare blocks with it, you're going to trigger that energy. So before damage is dealt, you're going to trigger that energy, Fabrication Module on the battlefield. You're going to trigger the Fabrication Module, put a +1/1 counter on your Shielded Aether Thief, and then you can, actually have a little bit of power there to attack back at the things that you're blocking. And then at end of turn, of course, you can always just dump 3 energy, draw an additional card. Works really, really well. It's got a good body. It's a 0/4, but in this deck, it can actually get much, much larger than that. And then, of course, Metallic Rebuke for our kind of answer all, counter all, which, we can keep a couple Thopters up or something like that. Cast this for 1 mana. Works really, really well. And then Confiscation Coup here. Pretty much just our answer to, Hazards and things like that. We can just take a Hazard from someone. We can take the Scarab God from someone. Now, likelihood of us being able to activate the Scarab God is basically dependent upon whether or not we pull our Aether Hub or not. But we do have a couple Confiscation Coups in the sideboard to be able to do that sort of thing. And then, of course, River's Rebuke to just kind of reset everything, get all those blockers out of the way, and then swing for lethal with our Thopter army. That is the deck, guys. And if you don't like this one, make sure you come back at 9 o'clock tonight, or in 2 hours from now. We're going to be playing Blue-Red Artificers, or Izzet Artificers. And it's along the same lines. Again, not really an artifact deck, but there's a lot of ways to kind of throw artifacts together in this one. It's going to be a lot of fun. It's also kind of a Whirler Virtuoso deck because that's an Artificer. PNLR, things like that. A lot of fun here in this deck. I'm excited to this one was actually updated. The other deck that we're playing tonight's not as updated as this one is, but we're running 4 Karns, 3 Zahids, things like that. Just a really powerful deck. I want to say that it was Craig Wesco that originally come up with this archetype of the Artificers, and he apparently accidentally 5-0'd with it like the night before Pro Tour or something like that, and everyone was scared to death that he was bringing this deck to Pro Tour because the deck was actually really well placed in the meta at the time. As of right now, I don't think that either of these decks are in just a hot spot because of Goblin Chain Whirler. So we are having to fight that Chain Whirler battle, and I mean it just goes to show you the oppressive power of Goblin Chain Whirler. So alright guys, let's get some shout outs. We'll get some hellos, some things like that in here, and then we'll just kind of go back to playing some Magic. What's up Rocker Madness Crew Fix? It goes down as the DM. Dragon Lord said 20 people watching and only 2 people with it hitting that like button. Come on, you like this deck. You like seeing these last chance decks. Yes, I've run this deck before. I have run this deck or a version of it before it goes down as the DM. Again, that's kind of what these last chance decks are. Some people, they like these decks. You want to see how they how they fared up at the end of the formation, like where they stood at the end of the formation, or the end of the formation, end of the rotation. So that's kind of what we're doing here. Boros Boons, what's up, sir? How are you? Kenneth, K-Dog, my man, how are you, sir? Rush, what's up? Marcus S. and who else we got up here? I know Madness and Dragonlord were talking for like 10 minutes before I got here. You guys just been hanging out. I watched Marcus's stream last night, or videos. Him and his wife playing some Magic. It was a lot of fun. They I recommend commenting on the videos and things like that. It helps those new channels more than you would know. Just to throw a bunch of comments out there, things like that. So I definitely put a lot of comments on your videos there, Marcus. But it wasn't because I wasn't watching or anything. I was watching, and I just I thought that I would put some comments in there, as I know how it helps. It helps the YouTube algorithm. So likes, comments, anything you can do for my stream as well, and anyone else's stream that you're watching. Remember, that always helps the streamer. All right, guys. Hey, Tier 1 Jank, just switched to the laptop. Creepy hearing the delay coming from your phone. It's like Eric playing the row, row, row. You know I don't sing on stream. Blue, white, Internalize. That's actually on the list, Rocker. An Eternalized deck with anointed processions and things like that. Yep, that looks fine. Do we not have a moderator in here right now? No moderator? All right. All right, we're gonna do this. Bam. We got a moderator. You guys are gonna hate me for this one. Wait till Jareth Miles shows up. All right. I've been waiting to do that for a while, just for the record. One other announcement I've got to make, and I kind of wanna make it as we're getting ready for this. As we're getting ready for this game here. Amazon. So there's a lot of flack about Amazon right now. And, Wizards is doing a thing where, you're going to be able to buy boxes directly from Amazon at like an $89 MSRP, or, $89 to $95 MSRP for a box. Well, you want your moderators to be stern. So that's why Madness gets the vote. I mean, there's probably other people that should also have that, but I don't want to overload. I don't want to overload the stream with moderators, but I think it was time. With great power comes great responsibility, right? Your great responsibility is remember, you are less censored than others. So you are only censored by the straight YouTube censorship, not my censored box. They give us a box that we can fill out, and you can put words in there that you don't want. Most of those are racial. Like most of the ones I put in were racial slurs and slurs about gender and things like that. So you have the means to get around that. If you do, you will lose your moderatorship. But other than that, you should be fine. I think you'll be fine. Anyway, what we've got, I'm going to go back to the Amazon thing. Wizards has done a deal with Amazon.com, and as a lot of you guys probably know, that it's always been a thing that store owners and things like that could sell their additional product on Amazon, make a couple extra bucks. You could have a lot of different people, and that's not going to change. People are still going to be able to sell their wares on Amazon just like they always were. But very soon we're going to be able to buy directly from Wizards of the Coast on Amazon.com. Now, there's a lot of people with mixed feelings about this. Most people do not like it. We're hearing the screams of the death of the local gaming store, things like that. I agree. that this is not good for local gaming stores. However, for streamers and communities like ours, which is kind of your not so local gaming store, or maybe it is the localist of gaming stores, it's in your living room, but for us, it's actually a terrific thing. If you're a streamer, now we're going to actually be able to sell you booster boxes at a reasonable price. For someone like me who is not, you know, I don't own a store or anything like that, you know, we don't have the means to go buy enough product to get a decent deal on those, to offer you guys a decent deal on product. But with the new deal that Wizards has done with Amazon, I will be able to, you know, make sure you get the product at, you know, a decent rate, and that'll help me out. It won't cost you anything more to shop Amazon with my link. By the way, you can find my link to my Amazon store in the description box below. It'll always be there, and whether you buy something off of my page or you just buy something off of Amazon in general, if you use the link, it's going to help out the channel. And that's nothing new. A lot of YouTubers have done that for a long time, but I kind of felt as there's nothing we can do about it. We're not going to be able to go back and tell Wizards, don't make this deal. Right? So this is going to happen. This is already going to happen. This is already happening. And we can either choose to ignore it, and no one but Wizards will get the benefit out of it, or we can choose to use it. And I feel that it's a new tool that is going to be available to, you know, YouTube channels and things like that. So there you go. That is why I went ahead and set up my Amazon store. I will be selling Magic the Gathering product on my Amazon store directly from Wizards of the Coast. No, you do not need my link to be able to get that or those prices, but if you want to use my link, it will help out. So thank you for those that are, and for those of you that don't like the fact that I'm supporting Wizards in this, I'm sorry, but I don't think my little YouTube channel of almost 4,000 is going to make a difference to Wizards. They're going to do their thing whether I want them to or not. So that's where I'm coming at from this. Might as well take advantage of what we have. So you know, there we go. Right? Custom playmats, anything like that. If you decide you want to shop on Amazon, click the link before you go shopping on Amazon and shop from there, and you can still access all of Amazon from there. Okay, well, this is an absolutely horrible hand, so we're going to mulligan it. We do need more than one land to be able to start trying to fire off. This is fairly close. We've got a little bit of removal, and we have a Glint Nest Crane. So I don't think we need another fabrication module, so I'll put that on the bottom. And we're just going to try to get to the crane, unless, you know, it's like, okay, that's green. If this is a Land of War Elf, then we have to kill it. So, as much as I want to do something else, I also want to kill this Land of War Elf. That will bank us 2 energy. That'll be handy for later. Ooh, green-blue. I'm interested. I am highly interested. So, I'm going to cheat here just a little bit. I'm going to go ahead, play the fabrication module this turn. And this way, when we play the Glint Nest Crane, we can follow that up with the Aether Hub. And okay, so he's ramping. This is like a Bant ramp deck. This should be quite interesting. So the old ball and chain has you watching some chick flick, so you'll be in and out. Oh man. Well, Rush, much love to you, buddy. I don't think you're going to get really far calling your significant other the old ball and chain. Okay, so we're going to go any order on this. I am going to go ahead and play animation module. And then I'm going to play the Aether Hub. The Aether Hub will trigger on the Glint Nest Crane. The animation module will trigger because we got a +1/1 counter, and now we can actually use this one leftover energy that we have to make a servo. and that's going to be our turn 4. So most of Module Tron is online. We've got Reverse Engineer here. I think I'm going to wait, and I'm just going to tap these. Okay, so that's not horrible. We don't have a way to gain energy this turn, so I'm just going to go ahead and play the Spire Bluff Canal, and I think I'll just play down a. I think I'll just attack for 2. Right? Just go ahead and attack for 2. We can keep up a Braid. We've really drawn a ton of land. Like, I assume he's got some way of wiping the board. I don't want him to do it too early, so I'm just gonna pass. This is probably like a Bant Nexus deck or something like that. So, I mean, if he gets the Teferi down, he's going to be able to do some great things. So, let me read some comments here. Just got to convince Kilo. What? I think we should get wrench playmats. Well, I was looking into you know, other offers that I can get for you guys. I know you guys have been wanting T-shirts, playmats, that sort of thing. So I'm looking into that. I don't get a priority. So I'm just going to go ahead and shoot Tatiova. But Teespring is a thing we can do here on YouTube, and I'm gonna look into adding Teespring or getting a Teespring account, and then from there we can put some T-shirts up and stuff like that. And so if you guys want to order a T-shirt or something, you guys can do that. Okay, so we do get Module Tron online. I do want as much mana as possible this turn, so I am going to play the Glint Nest. We'll put the I want to see what I'm going to get beforehand. Nothing. Whiffed on the Glint Nest. So we'll go in order here. Decoction Module, which will trigger. We'll make sure this can swing through. Animation Module will trigger. I'm going to pay an energy, or I'm going to pay a mana to produce another dude. This will produce yet another energy, which will give us another +1/1 counter. Again, I'm just going to keep putting these on the Glint Nest Crane. We will spend yet one more mana to make another guy, which will then put another counter. Now again, if this was a red deck, I would probably be putting each counter that is made by each creature on the servos so that we could dodge like Goblin Chain Whirler and things like that. But here we're just using all the mana we've got to try to get a little bit of an attack in. So just Module Tron doing Module Tron things, right? Yes, we're in Game 1, Trey. You made it. You made it. Game 1, Match 1. Is there a Metallic Mimic? Oh, you see there is a Metallic Mimic. What is it for? It combos with Animation Module. And that's, you just call servos, and then once the first servo hits, you don't need anything else to happen. It's just one of those things you can just go search it up with your Whirl of Invention. It'll hit the battlefield instantly, giving you the ability to instantly like just build a ton of dudes, and that's kind of what it's for. And again, it's just that one of, so it's just meant to search things up. You love you some servos. Awesome. I didn't think that I would hit 4K anytime soon. Oh man, he gained so much life. Well, we're gonna go Maverick Thopterist. Now this would have entered tapped anyway. So I am going to, we don't have anything to do with the rest of this mana. So we're just gonna keep paying here, which will keep putting counters on things. And I guess it doesn't really matter if we try to make one thing absolutely huge. Maybe better that we make a board wide. And then I think I'll just put the last counter here on the Maverick Thopterist. As you guys can see, we already have... yeah, we're about to get more. Okay, bam. Two more creatures enter. We're not going to pay for animation module. We'll gain another energy. I think I'll make the flyer large here. And then, of course, we'll not pay because we can't. Let's go ahead and play our land. No point in holding on to it, other than, like, bluffing. So, he fumigated last turn, and we played one creature, and this is our board state. That's Module Tron. Overflowing Insight. He's going to gain some life. So we're looking at 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. We've got 15 damage on board as of right now. You played against this deck during a side game at a GP. It was the first time you had played against someone other than your circle of friends. Okay. It's actually not a bad deck. They're alright, so what's the cheapest way? I think the cheapest way is we just give ourselves a counter. So I'm just going to put another counter on my flyer. And we're just going to go for lethal right here. So we put a counter on the flyer. Do you count that we have five mana here, dude? 5 mana equals 5 more dudes. So we're gonna go yes. I'm gonna go blue, 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 blue. We're gonna go. Let's make these Thopters big, right? So we'll say yes. Always. Thopter. Always, yes. Thopter, yes. Thopter, yes. And Thopter. This should be 20 damage. Unless I've done my math wrong, it should be 20. But he's at 22, so it's not exactly enough to get... Oh, it's 21 damage. My bad. Oh, yeah, the initial one counter that I put on from animation module. That's right. So the opponent's at 1, and if he fumigates, he'll be back at 1,000,000. So, I mean, he drew 7 cards last turn. Omniscience. Oh my goodness. Alright. Let's see what you got, opponent. Show me the goods. He glimmers a genius. So this is a 10 mana enchantment that says you can cast spells from your hand without paying their mana cost. Yeah, that's a thing. That's a thing. Ramp him to Omniscience. Oh no, there's the Fumigate. Well, there's a Spring. Now he can only cast spells from his hand. He can't cast like the Mind or anything from the graveyard. But if he ramps and gets this down and he has like a Nexus of Fate in his deck, he'll be able to do some crazy stuff there. Okay, well the problem with this deck is you really need a way to get a creature onto the battlefield. I do not have that. So instead of going for lethal last turn, it looks like it would have probably been more beneficial to hold up 4 mana and then be able to return Thopterus to my hand. We'll see what happens here, though. Hour of Promise. I mean, we've got Module Tron, we've got a ton of mana as well, so we can rebuild very quickly. The opponent just needs to be able to continue drawing cards. Anticipate. Okay. That'll be really good for him. Draw. He's got 11 cards in hand. Wow. Aether Flux Reservoir. He plays another Omniscience. Omniscience. The Apex. Apex of Omniscience. Well, he's gaining a ton of life now. I assume that he has enough mana to be able to, or enough cards that are playable to go ahead and kill us here. Bant lands 43. Anticipate. That should take him to 50, right? That's got to be the 7th spell, yeah. Alright, I concede at that. I concede at that. We had him at 1! We had him at 1. Okay, so... Negate looks good. Metallic Rebuke looks good. And what doesn't look good? Abrade. Harness Lightning? I mean, we may need a way to deal with Tatyova, because I doubt he's going to block with it. Let's say we keep in Abrade. Take out 1 animation module, maybe? No. We'll take out 1 Whirl for a second Abrade. I just want to be able to kill Tatyova, so I want a couple copies of Abrade. So, and I'm not for sure if he has the little artifact, the compass. So, how was I making servos and thopters? Because that's what the modules do. I'll explain it as we get Module Tron back online again. I went over it in the deck tech, but I'll explain it again in just a moment. Hopefully we'll be able to go back through it. So, Decoction Module gives us an energy whenever a creature enters the battlefield. Anticipation, Animation Module, which is the 1-drop module, gives us the ability to play, or to every time we get a counter on something, we can get. Oh, this looks great. This seems fine. Okay, so Decoction Module gives us an energy when a creature enters. Fabrication Module says whenever you gain an energy, put a +1/+1 counter on something. Animation Module says whenever you put a +1/+1 counter on something. Wow. I mean, we've got to get set up, though. And then next turn, we'll be able to go like Glintnest Crane, hold up Metallic Rebuke. I don't think he's at the turn where he's just going to be slamming big stuff yet. Ooh, look at that. Even getting in with the Land of War. Sending a message. Okay, so... I'll do the animation module pass. All right, so here we go. Decoction. We have a creature enter the battlefield. Decoction module gives us an energy. Fabrication module will give us a counter. Animation module will give us, or fabrication module will give a counter. Animation module says whenever you get a counter, you can pay 1 mana, make a servo. That servo will enter the battlefield. It will re-trigger the decoction module, which will restart the chain over again. So you have a creature enter, you get decoction module, which will give you a counter, which will give you the chance to make a servo, which will re-trigger the decoction module, which will re-trigger the fabrication, and so on and so on. So that's how the deck works. Oh my goodness, we're getting close. We're getting so very close. We do have to worry about like fumigates, things like that. I wish I could hit some more land, because that would be terrific. We are 1 decoction module away from infinite. Alright, Crane. You're not what I'm looking for. I am going to play the Crane, though. We'll put these on the stack first, and then this way we can actually see what we get. Crane, nothing. There was our Aether Hub, which would have been so very good. Alright. And I am going to go ahead and pay for this, making myself another body. There we go. We're going to say no to animation module because we don't have any more energy. We're just going to keep putting the counters on Glint Nest. Again, we have to say no to animation module and no to animation module. So now we've got a 5/7 Glint Nest Crane. So yeah. Your Merfolk deck uses Song of Freyalise to ramp to Rebuke. Rebuke seems really good in Merfolk. There's also a card that taps all of their creatures. So that's actually really good too for a much cheaper price. Yeah, these Aetherflux reservoirs are going to be a bit of a pain. Okay. Well, I don't think there's a reason to not do this. Again, we're just going to say no. We're going to just keep putting counters here on our Glint Nest. Can we kill him right now? So these cost 1 each. We can make 8. It's close. It's very close. I'm going to go for it. No, it's not even close. We're getting 2 counters per 1. So yeah, this is lethal if he can't stop the Glint Nest. So I'm just gonna keep going through this till I have a guy who's large enough to kill the opponent here. And this will be the last one. We could make 1 more. But we wouldn't have been able to get lethal anyway. So now the opponent has to, you know, dig his way back up through his deck, get some cards in hand. He needs to be able to stop what's going on here. We've got a 2022 flyer. Watch out for Fatal Push, right? Yeah, watch out for Fatal Push. Fatal Push could happen. I was actually more worried about Seal Away than I was Fatal Push. Yeah, it's a flyer. He couldn't block. What do you mean Tempest Caller stops only attacks? Like, how does the opponent win? I think he's going to be tapped out here. Like, yeah, okay. All right. 2022. Eric just summoned Rodon. I don't even know what Rodon is. Helmeto! Ain't that the one that taps all of your opponent's dudes? Right, so it would stop their attacks, it would stop their blocks. I don't know what you guys are talking about. Tempest Caller's awesome. Does it got flash? So now we've got Negate back up to protect ourselves from Seal Away. Negate your Haze of Pollen. Oh yeah, come on Fog, get some. That's right. That's right, Fog. We just attacked you with a 20. 22. Where's that fling at, right? We need fling in this deck. This deck clearly needs fling. It doesn't have flash? Okay. My bad. Yeah, there we go. So it stops him from blocking. We just had a minor lapse, so OBS disconnected, and then it just reconnected. So we're back. Nothing has happened between the time you guys went away and you know, we should just be back. I don't know what was up, but OBS decided it needed to reconnect. So I'm going to bring in another Abrade, and I'm going to keep the Harness Lightnings. Maybe I don't even need Abrade. Maybe Harness Lightning is just better, banking the additional energy. The Negates are absolutely clutch. The Metallic Rebukes are going to be great. We may have to play this a little bit slower because we know that we can come in with a huge finish. So you search the post for rotation alternatives in mono blue bulk. All cards that would replace old ones are common. The mono blue deck, like the Gen deck, is not going anywhere. It's still going to be here. I'm going to mulligan this hand. We need more lands than this. That deck's not going away. It loses like 2 cards. Unsummon and... We'll put that on the bottom. Unsummon and like one other. And you get... Like, the mono blue's just not going anywhere. Just, well, we just hit our opponent in the face with a 2022 Glintnest Crane. So, I'm going to say it's going okay. Let's just play Mountain. Pass. Our opponent's got a Omniscience deck. It's a Bant Ramp deck. So, well, Metallic Rebuke, Call Thopters. Or Metallic Mimic and just Call Thopters. We can always like get our modules and return it to hand. Now, the main reason I'm calling Thopter here is because we took the animation modules out, guys. So there's the animation modules are right here. So we're not going to be making servos this game. There's an Aether Hub. Worries me a little bit. I think I still run this Whirler. I'm not making a Thopter till I know he's not going to wipe the board with like a Fumigate or something. So this could be Fumigate right here. Double white. Nope. Grow from the ashes. I assume he gets plains. Plains. Okay. Island. Let's go ahead and make a Thopter. That's pretty good. We will attack. No fog from the opponent yet. I mean, that was just an attack for 5, though. Gift of Paradise. I think we're going to let him have his ramp. And then we're going to try to counter whatever the big thing is. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. He's almost at Omniscience. I assume that that's the big card in hand. Either that or it's the draw 7 in his hand. I'm going to play the Crane. And we got nothing. Just got rid of a bunch of land. Okay, well. I think we're still safe to just swing out here. The opponent does just have 2 cards left in hand, so if we can get the important one with a Metallic Rebuke, we should be okay. Now we're setting even prettier. Okay. Again, we're just on the beatdown plan, the control plan, not trying to be as combo as we have in the past. We're just gonna try to punish the opponent for playing these big, huge cards. Just gonna negate this. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So if he plays Omniscience, he's dead. There we go. And that's game. Alright, so yeah, but Mono Blue Bulk isn't favorable Winds Flyers deck. So I don't know exactly what you're calling the Mono Blue Bulk deck. The Mono Blue deck that I am thinking of is the Mono Blue Wizards deck. And as far as I know, that loses like 2 cards. That is going to be one of the blue decks that I want to be running. It's if you watched Worlds, it's Ken Yukihira's deck. I probably butchered that last name, but it's Ken Yukihira's deck, and it was it actually did really well in the standard event. So yeah, I think that's going to be a good deck come rotation. Again, it's not losing a whole bunch. Curious Obsession is going to be really great. It seems like it's going to be all right. Plus, you get to run Jin, things like that. So you have your volume almost all the way up and can barely hear the music. Oh man, this is a good song too. I'll tell you what. If this gets too loud, you guys let me know and we will turn it down a hair. But I don't want it to drown me out, so let me know what the current volume is. Is that good? Is that bad? So, you're such a needy mod. Well, that's what your mods are supposed to do. Let me know. Hey, music's not loud enough. Things like that. So, Oh yeah, and the mono blue deck, you're right, and it's like $50 in paper. It's really cheap. It's going to be a great place to get started, and yeah, I think that's great. You think the mono blue deck runs Kitesail, Corsair, and Merfolk Trickster? Two really underrated cards. Corsair, Kitesail Corsair. I'll have to check that out. Gift react. I wish you guys could too. I wish there were more things that we could do. I am working on my tokens for you guys that have subscribed to the channel. So, you know, for those of you that have been subscribers for, you know, 1 month, 2 months, you know, so on and so on, you're going to have individualized tokens. The idea came up that we should do it like Magic cards, whether, you know, you guys are going to have, you know, the black background, you're going to have a silver background for an uncommon, you're going to have a gold background for, you know, your metallic or for your metallic mimics, for certain people, and then you're going to have an orange background for those who have been with us the longest. So you guys that have joined the channel, joined the community, and have subscribed to the channel, well, it's not subscribe. Join the community. That's what it is. I'm keeping this hand. So for you guys, you're gonna have that available to you. We don't have a 1-drop, so I think we just like decoction module, fabrication module, that sort of thing. Ouch. Big ouch. Harness Lightning's not bad. I am going to go ahead and try to get set up, though. When playing against these red decks, you basically just want to get set up as quick as possible and hope that they kind of choke on their mana and things like that, which is possible. I mean, we watched Ben Stark choke in the... not, like, when I say choke, I mean his land's choked, but... now we can start controlling the game a little bit. We can clean up some things. We want that Goblin Whirler to go ahead and get out there. Glint Nest. This is actually really good. He may kill it with the trigger on the stack. Ooh, there's an animation module. That will be good for us. That will be very good. I mean, at least we've got a decent blocker now. Land. I'm just gonna Harness Lightning Bomat Courier here. Wow, he's gonna let us do it too. If things are that important to him, I am willing to take these 3 points of damage to get rid of the second Bomat Courier. Animation module should be fairly good for us. Rekindling Phoenix, well, that's a bit small. Okay, so I'm just gonna play the animation module. Play the Metallic Mimic. I'm gonna call Servo. Decoction module is going to give us a counter to make sure that our Metallic Mimic doesn't just die to a Goblin Chain Whirler. And then I will go ahead, pay 1 to make another servo. We're not going to pay for this decoction module here. So we're going to say no. And then we're going to say okay. And do we get it above like Magma Spray? Do we worry about that? Or do we just make this... I think I'm just going to make my servo big so that I can start attacking. Wow, the opponent doesn't like what's going on here and scooped it up. Well, I'm sorry, Red-Black. Did you not like it that we could beat your deck? Oh, poor Red-Black. Well, he's supposed to have the best deck around right now. What? Oh, Red-Black just ran away. Darn. Anyway, so much for his Goblin Chain Whirler. Yeah. Oh my God, deaf to Red-Black, right? So did you guys watch Worlds? Haha, my deck can beat up your deck. Quote madness right there. I like this deck. I really do. I thought this deck was great back in the day. It's actually really powerful. It's got a lot of powerful aspects to it. So unfortunately, you know, there's no Friday nights left for you guys to like take this and destroy people with it. But yeah, like Worlds. Even Worlds ended up just being Red-Black versus Red-Black in the finals. I mean, was it sad that I was happy to see Ben Stark's little mono-red deck there, and I was really happy to see Shinhar show up with the God Pharaoh's Gift, you know, showing everyone just the power of that combo deck. And it basically worked out like that. When he got his combo, he won. When he did not get his combo, you know, he just he lost. So it's a whirler. I mean, we've got whirlers. We can do things with whirlers, and if we draw any of our modules, like this hand will become just bonkers. So there's one last F&M before rotation. Sadly, don't think it's worth it. Right, this deck's probably not worth it. It's not. But you know, if you guys want to have some fun with the deck, you can play around with this. Oh, absolutely, I'm going to get out this animation module. We don't have real ways to trigger it, but it's probably the best usage of our mana this turn. I mean, if he goes Aether Hub, Glint Sleeve, then we would try to deal with that. This could very well be a Glint Sleeve. Probably going to try to kill this Glint Sleeve. By the way, Glint Sleeve works so good in modules, it's ridiculous. He doesn't have Aether Hub, so I'm just going to try to put 2 blockers down. And then if he does like kill my Whirler or Virtuoso, then I'll upgrade it next turn. But making a Thopter here means that I get to Maverick Thopterus next turn. So I am interested in that. We can go Island, Mountain, Thopter. We would still need, what, one more? Do you attack? He does attack. So we're gonna make a blocker. Now he may just get us here if he has a way to just like kill the Whirler. So he's just gonna kill our Thopter. Okay. Like killing this Glint Sleeve to lose a Thopter seems pretty good to me. You're honestly really excited for rotation, though. You'll miss a few cards, but not very many. Well, and that's another thing. That's why I'm running these last chance decks. Like, you're going to see a ton of last chance decks this week. And that's mainly because I am so sick of red-black that I mean, we're gonna be playing some red-black decks. Like, I think we've got a red-black deck from Rush there. So we've got a couple red-black decks. All of my Patreon games decks are going to be last chance decks, except for I think we've got one rotation proof somebody wanted run. But other than that, we're just going to be running, you know, like you can't wait to find a new card to you can't wait to find a new card to hate, right? That's kind of how it works. But yeah, I'm just trying to have some fun with the meta. Like, if we were trying to be really serious and competitive, we would just be playing red black, red black, red black, red black. Hey, look, more red black. He's tapped. He's got a Champion of Wits. He threw Consigned to Oblivion in the grave. Oh, undo. So we gotta go blue, blue, cancel. Announce that we want to cast a spell. So we get a Braid and land. That's not going to quite do it. I mean, we got another Whirler, so now we can just be a little bit more liberal with our Whirler application. The Scarab God really hurts this deck as well because, like, they can do such great things with a 4/4 Whirler Virtuoso. Champ. Okay. We really need some things that'll allow us to go off. Glint Nest. Let's play the Glint Nest. And then we can play Whirler, we can play land. Glint Nest fails. Fail to find. Glint Nest is probably horrible in this deck. We have failed so many times. I actually think I just want a Maverick Thopterist here. Just get that easy 2-for-1 in. And then we'll pass the turn. What are you guys talking about? It's funny to see. White chat. Oh, we've got white chat. Alright. There we go. There we go. I got you. I got you. You find it funny that now that Rakdos will be back as a guild in the fall, it will fall out of favor? It's possible. Like, a lot of people like red-black decks, and even though red-black it played more like a mono red deck. Okay, we're gonna try this again. There's a decoction module. That's a lot closer to what we're looking for here. So we're gonna go decoction module, and then we can hold up a braid. And I'm just gonna swing. I mean, it's only 3, but it'll tie us back up here. The opponent's stuck on 4 mana. I mean, but there's a lot this deck can do with 4 mana. Pirates and others could surprise immediately after rotation, even if it doesn't last long. I actually expect there to be red-black Pirates deck, like kind of mono-reddish, splash black again. But there's probably going to be some other black cards in it. There's some really good black Pirates. There's some really good red Pirates. So I do kind of expect to see some Pirates. I know he probably just wanted that there for later. Let's reverse engineer, draw some more cards. There's another animation module. You do not need that card in duplicates. It's just not great in duplicates. Here we can actually play Whirler, and then if he responds to Whirler's energy trigger, we can harness lightning in response and still get our Thopters. So I think that's the route I want to take here. So we'll go Whirler, and then it's going to open up this window that he's going to either try to respond or not. Okay, so he's just going to commit it. That's fine. That is fine, opponent. Go ahead and take a bunch. And, I mean, do we keep up a Braid? I don't want to harness lightning yet. I want to do that with the other Whirler. I can play the other animation module, but it's just not good in duplicates. It's just not going to do us any good. It's also not the one that he would choose to remove if he had a way to remove it. Liliana. Does Liliana just get back something like Champion of Wits, or... Oh, gets back the Scarab God. I didn't even see that in the grave. Wow. Okay. So... we're definitely going to be stopping at our end step to kill the Scarab God. If I Whirler, which I think is the right play, we'll go Decoction Module. We need a Fabrication Module. So we're going to kill Liliana here. So we're going to go Liliana, Liliana, Tommy D, Tommy D. We're going to say, okay, make that stuff happen. We're going to move to our end step. And in end step, I'm going to harness lightning the Scarab God. And we are going to pay 5 for it, and that's why it's Harness Lightning and not like Lightning Strike or something else. It's because we can pump all of this additional energy in. We have moments where we just make a ton of energy, things like that. So, yeah, we need to make we need the Fabrication Module so we can make these cranes huge. Right now, we're just kind of doing the chip damage. And like, oh, he's got another copy of the Scarab God. Well, isn't that just lovely? I think we draw a Whirler of Virtuoso here. Unless I don't want to draw a Whirler of Virtuoso. I can sack this Inventor's Fair right now and go get a Fabrication Module. The Fabrication Module could be all we need to... Still doesn't let us go off, does it? We can get big. We can get real big. We're not worried about him trying to use our creatures to go wide, because he's not going as wide as we are. It's just not going to happen. I think I'm going to draw this Whirler. So we'll go ahead, take our life, draw a Whirler. I am going to go ahead and sacrifice this now. I'm going to go get Fabrication Module and play it and go from there. So we'll attack, attack, attack. I'm going to go ahead and make a dude. This is going to trigger Decoction Module, which we'll start making Thopters large. I want him to use removal spells on things like Thopters, because if he's reusing his removal spells on Thopters, then that means that he's not putting more creatures in the graveyard. I am a little bit worried about him just casting Oblivion this turn. It's probably not going to be like ideal for him to just cast Oblivion, as we're lethal in the air next turn. Like, he needs to get an aerial blocker going on. More than likely, he needs to take our Whirler Virtuoso here. Okay, he just passes back. So, I'm just going to play Whirler. Now he's got to have, like, double removal spell. So the opponent's really got to think about how he wants to do this. Yeah, we're just gonna spread this damage around, and I'm just gonna say okay. I'm not going to do this, so we're just gonna say no. We're gonna say okay. We're gonna say no, okay, and we're gonna gain another energy. We'll get this one doesn't have Summoning Sickness. Again, I'm just going to say no, because we can always make a dude at instant speed and then put the counters in the proper place. Like, I don't want to put the counters somewhere where I'm like worried about them. So I'm just going to swing with everything except for Whirler. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we will decide whether the opponent, or we're going to see if the opponent wants to spend his mana making a Whirler Virtuoso and try to make some Thopters. We're probably going to even let him go to blocks, and then at that point we're going to pump everything that's not blocked and just kill him. So he really needs to decide whether or not he fires off this Vraska's Contempt that he's kind of projecting that he has in hand, or he fires off my Whirler Virtuoso to try to save himself. But like, he is projecting that he's got like a Vraska's Contempt or something like that. That's why the second Whirler was actually, I think, my better choice is just go ahead and grab that. So regardless of who kills Bolas, Squee will outlive him. That's funny. No blocks. Okay, so here we're definitely going to start spreading some stuff out. I'm just going to make a Thopter, and we're going to go for lethal here. So we'll go ahead and put a counter on the Crane. Again, I want to spread these counters out, but we're going really wide right here. So now we're going to actually start saying yes to the animation module triggers. And then the fabrication module, of course. We'll say always to that. No point. I'm going to say always here. We'll go ahead. We'll say yes. And again, I'm going to want to spread this, this damage out. And I think it's better to not resolve the stack, just as far as time goes. Let's make this one. And then I'm just going to say no to all of these. This way I can just easily drop the stack. So here comes the Vraska's Contempt. I assume it's Vraska's Contempt. I don't think anything else saves him. And he did use it on a Thopter, so that's not enough to save him, though. He has to have another spell. Cast down? Oh, consign. Okay. Alright, so, I mean, he does squeak by, but I'm not really for sure how he survives the next turn. Oh man, in response to that, I could have just started making more. Like, we still had him dead. Yeah, we still had him dead. Yeah, that was my punt. I could have just, like, made more. I forgot that we had 8 energy sitting over here that wasn't doing anything. So yeah, he was still dead right there. Well, I like the Scarab God. He seems really good. Shielded Aether Thief is probably really good in this matchup. Metallic Rebuke is probably really good in this matchup. I don't think that I'm going to be going for Whirl as much. And I don't think that I'm worried about as many animation modules. I do want, like, some access to animation module, which probably means I should leave a Whirl in the deck. Maybe we don't need Shielded Aether Thief here. It is card draw, and that's kind of like one of the things I wanted out of it. But maybe it's just Whirl. Leave a couple Whirls in the deck. We'll run the Confiscation Coups, the Metallic Rebukes. I'm not interested in, like, fighting him over, like, his kill spells and things like that. Because of redundancy, I'm not worried about, like, stopping his kill spells. I just want to stop his big... Like, he's got possibly 5 creatures in the deck that just 100% have to be stopped. So, I don't know. Like, maybe it's wrong to not bring in Negate. But I wanted to just bring in the counter spells that kill everything. Not bringing in Crook. Crook's really there for the God Pharaoh's Gift deck, but... actually, Crook would be really good. If we go to a game 3, I should probably bring in Crook. I did not think about Crook. So yeah, that's on me. Alright, well, I mean, he got my animation module for the cost of a Duress. Hey, I'm okay. That's fine. No problem there. If this is the one that scared him, we should be fine. You saw one with a Gonti once. See, it seems good. We'll just abrade this now and pass. I don't want him to be able to stop that from being abraded. I don't want him to gain additional life. I kind of want to get started here and just go off as quickly as possible. So I'm going to play this Glintnest Crane and see if we can find a module. Nope, no modules. Glintnest Crane's so bad. It's so bad. It's really good for holding counters, but other than that, he's so bad. He's so bad. Gonti, you will not miss Gonti. There's a blue-black Gonti. You're gonna love it. You're going to love it. Yeah, you're not going to miss Gonti. The effect's still going to be in standard, and you're just going to start playing the new card. I mean, yes, the new card's got to hit people first, and Gonti just entered the battlefield. Bam, you get this ability. But you're going to get multiple triggers on the next one. It's going to be like, bam, I'm going to play this, and if you can't kill it right now, I'm about to do stuff to you, and that's going to be great. Need that fabrication module, though. Is he going to start firing off kill spells on a crane? Seems good. I don't 100% mind that. We can reverse engineer next turn. Okay. Oh, don't have a counter. Don't have a counter. Seems good. Seems really, really good. Alright, he pushes the crane. Okay. Okay, opponent. I mean, we know he's got, like, you know, bounce spells, things like that, so... but Gonti's sweet. I get where you guys are coming from. Yeah, Nightveil Spectre. I think that's the name of it. So let's see if we can get this Maverick Thopterus through here. Oh, is this an Essence Scatter? It is an Essence Scatter. You scattered my essence. Dovin Bond? But he was so bad. I don't know why that card was bad. Like, everything on it, like when you read it, it's like this looks right. Yeah, this looks like it's pretty good, and then it's not. Crane seems okay here. I mean, again, at this point we're taxing the opponent's removal. I mean, when you get your modules out, every little dude just becomes a back-breaking card. What do you got? Oh, Torrential Gearhulk, gonna just counter this too. Well, that's a thing. That is a thing. We may lose to Torrential here. I mean, if we get like Whirler or something, we're not losing to it. I mean, it'll never attack through us. But we do need to resolve something, so... And the opponent's only got 2 cards left in hand. He has spent a big portion of... And we're just flooding. No, not the flood. Okay. I'm just going to pass. So we're gonna start taking a little bit of a beating here. Just gonna gain a little energy. Another land, really? Really? Don't have a counter, don't have a counter. Okay, we're gonna go to 1. Whirler off the top, please. So I am basically just making energy here so that I can do this one more time and get big enough to kill this, but unfortunately that's just way too slow, way too late. We need a creature. We need a creature now, and it needs to be like Maverick Thopterus, Whirler Virtuoso, something. And here we go. So, does he have removal? So we're just gonna start targeting the Thopters. Okay. This is our hope and our prayer. I mean, he's probably got some kind of removal or something like that. If he does... Alright, there's Choop. There's the old Choop. Alright, so we've got to do everything in response to the Chupacabra trigger here. Alright, so let's think about this. I know that I want to harness lightning something, and it's probably just going to be this. So I'm going to go 1, 2, and I'm going to harness lightning Champion of Wits. Now, we're going to say, okay, we're going to use our fabrication module to put a counter here. We're going to say okay again. Now I'm going to make yet another dude. And we're going to say okay, the decoction module giving us extra energy. And definitely just going to beef up the rest of our Air Force here. Now, using hidden mode on decoction module, we're going to pay 4 mana and return Whirler Virtuoso to our hand. Now, if he's got a kill spell here, he will be able to snag this Whirler. He does have a Vraska's Contempt, so it took him double kill spell to be able to get through that. I don't think it's 100% over for us. Depending on how he attacks... Okay. Well, we do have to block everything. And our only animation module is in the sideboard, so Confiscation go off the top would be decent. You know, that would be pretty decent too. And we'll keep up the... I'm not tapping any of these because I want to keep up the ability to do things on the fly. So I think we just make these Thopters large. Because I'm definitely thinking that we're going to have to... We're going to have to, like, bounce him or something like that. But we are still in this. We are still in this. Padim would have been really good in this deck. I thought about putting Padim in the sideboard. The slot ended up going to Aethersphere Harvester for the obvious reasons of being able to make it large and things like that. So, yeah. Spelling was always my worst subject. I was always better with numbers than I was spelling. So, I know how you feel there, Justin. Alright. We're not done for yet, though. We're not done for. It's not just over. Do you keep attacking opponent? And how so? Because if you swing just that one, I'll stick them all in front of it. I do not care. Okay, well, I'm going to try to return this Maverick Thopterus to my hand. Well. Don't mind if I do. Don't mind if I do, opponent. Don't mind if I do. The opponent said, "Be right back, 2 seconds." Yeah, we may stabilize here. I mean, it's only blue-black control. I mean, the Scarab God. It's like playing all the weakest cards in Standard. I mean, 1 life. That's nothing. Yeah, he's like, "Be right back, 2 seconds." Salt delay. Probably. Maybe. I don't know. 2 seconds was over a long time ago. Are we in the danger zone? Are we? Maybe. I'd feel better if animation module wasn't in the graveyard, so I could just like go really, really wide. But we're making flyers and things like that, so I mean, we may be in the danger zone, but you know. Oh man, had a random burn. Yeah, random burn card. Gut shot. Pow. Okay, so I'm gonna pay 6. We got a fabrication module trigger. Do we just make this thing huge? So no matter how we do this, we can't leave up 4 mana here. I mean, maybe they're like tapping our Thopters and things like that down. But I'm actually going to try to start pressuring the opponent at this point. Just because I feel confident in the number of blockers we have, I'm going to start getting very large with one of these Thopters. And that one's going to start getting in. I mean, 6 damage in the air will not take a ton of turns to get some work done. So, we don't want to return this to its owner's hand because it's owned by Tommy D. But also, we don't want him to necessarily have a way to return it to his hand, so. Do we stabilize at 1? Yeah, Helm is just, it's way too slow. Like, you have to have, like, some really amazing type of like control going on before you can actually make Helm work. I've had a lot of people, you know, in like subscriber decks and other, you know, places. I've had people put these Helm of the Host in the deck, and it takes so long to make it start working that in our current meta, it's just you're just dead by that time. So. I'm not going to say that it was a top deck for the win, because I think we would have still been stabilizing even if he had the Torrential Gearhulk, but it definitely didn't hurt. It 100% did not hurt. Now, if he plays the Scarab God, then that's going to be a pain, but it's also not going to be over, because we've got 8 mana. There's a Liliana. What does he get back? Does he have a Ravenous Chupacabra in the graveyard? He does. He does have a Ravenous Chupacabra. So, if he returns the Ravenous Chupacabra, I assume that he just shoots the Maverick Thopterist, because, like, he can't. No, he's got to shoot the 6/6 flying Thopter. Isn't that lovely? So he did all of that. I think I want to do this main phase. So I'm going to do it like this. I'm going to return Maverick Thopterus to my hand. I'm going to play Maverick Thopterus, leaving 4 mana up. And that 4 mana is for the, excuse me, Fabrication Module. So I think we have to tap. And we're still going to be okay here. Fabrication Module is going to go on this guy. We'll get some more triggers. We'll make some more dudes. I think we'll beef up one of these guys too, because we can always beef it to 3. Definitely willing to attack him. We'll attack Liliana here. And I really want Liliana dead. So I'm going to attack Liliana like this, and we're going to attack the opponent. Okay, him losing creatures is going to be absolutely terrific for us. Sure. So what I'm going to do here is I'm actually going to go ahead, I'm going to gain that energy now, which is going to allow me to make this Torrential Gearhulk 1 size larger, and that'll be big enough to just kill both of his guys. And we'll guarantee that Liliana's dead. We'll kill both of his dudes. We get to keep our Torrential Gearhulk, which is his Torrential Gearhulk. So, yeah. 1 removal and we're dead. Not now. Not now. Yeah, I played that one a little loose. That was a little bit loose, I guess, but who's Kilo going to cut? Yeah, the opponent definitely made a massive punt there. Like, he didn't play around the Fabrication Module hidden ability. I call these hidden abilities because every time I've ever played this deck, people just didn't play around the second abilities on the cards. One, the Scarab God, and we might be dead. Yeah, but 1 Whirler Virtuoso, and he's dead. Right? Like, we hit Whirler off the top, and we are lethal in the air. We've got 10 energy bank, guys. 10 energy. Got to be aggressive and assert dominance. Yeah. Seems good, right? I mean, we're going to assert dominance. We're definitely going to be swinging here next turn. If we do the math here, we've got 6, 7, 8. Let's just count the aerial damage. Wow, what do you have, opponent? One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 in the air. Metallic Mimic. Calling. This will be 13 in the air. I'm going to call a Thopter. Right? Because that seems good. We'll go Fabrication Module on Thopters. Okay, so now we need to return a creature. Yep, so we're going to return Maverick Thopterus. And I actually just use my mana. Do you have the removal spell? Is this a Vraska's Contempt or Torrential Gearhulk for Vraska's Contempt? My goodness. It is. It is. It is. Okay. Well, that happened. That 100% happens. Now we've got to look at this a little bit differently. If we go 7, I think we're okay at 7. Yeah, we'll just swing 7 here. And then we have our mana sink here to just gain an additional energy. Our Gearhulk, well, his Gearhulk's bigger than his Gearhulk. The opponent just hit red zone. I mean, so we're kind of matched in time here. We only have 3.5 minutes to go. What? Yeah, I've got to, like, this is going to be the last game. So it's probably going to be about 15 minutes after 9 before we bring up the next stream. I want to take everything down. I've got to get YouTube set up so that it'll have the right thumbnail. Thumbnails are already made. I've already pulled the cards. So I'll take about 15 minutes and we'll go from there. Oh man, so does this mean he has the Scarab God? Alright, so we're going to go to blocks. So I'll block here. Block here. After blocks, I'm going to activate to gain an energy. Gaining an energy will mean that I can make this large enough to keep it alive. Alright, so now we're looking at 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. We're really close. Really, really close to lethal, guys. Alright. That's definitely a thing, and we have to expect him to have removal spells now. So I cannot just kind of get willy-nilly, and Whirler Virtuoso would be so broken right now. So broken. Like, with my last chance decks, guys, I have been, like, really trying to, like, bring good decks to you guys that could technically compete. I'm hoping that I've brought enough, you know, good things. I mean, we've had some pretty good games tonight. Have we lost? We may lose this one, but I don't know. We're stabilizing at 1. Death Touch Lifelink? Okay. Okay. That makes him tap except for a single blue mana, and I just really don't see this deck running an unsummon. It looks pretty cookie cutter, blue-black mid-range, so he said, I think you need to top deck a land or I lose. I played a land. Alright, so we're going to return Metallic Mimic to our hand. I'm going to play Metallic Mimic. And we're going to call humans. Because now I'm being funny, right? Now we're going to gain an energy. Put it on a flyer. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 16. Alright. Don't have unsummon. Don't have unsummon. Woo! And that's game. That is game. Wow! What do you think about that? Did you guys like our Module Tron deck? Did it play good enough for you? Did we play the good decks? Did we beat the good decks? Kinda, whatever. We made Red Black just go home. We just made Red Black just pack it up and go home. He lost the first game and he was, forget this, I'm done. Yeah. Yeah, he showed us of the Scarab God, which makes me, like, the Scarab God wasn't good enough because he didn't have any way to bring back a flyer. So the Scarab God, oh man, he could have brought back our Maverick Thopters. No, he exiled them all, I think. Maybe, I don't know. But, yeah, I don't think the Scarab God was good. So anyway, don't forget to hit that like button. You know, just go search for it. Hit that thumbs up. Help me out. Helps out the channel a lot. Let me know if you're watching this, you know, on a replay or something like that. Let me know what you thought about it. If you guys are having ideas, we've got Artificers coming up here in about 15 minutes. It's going to be 15 minutes after 9. That's 20 minutes from now. And I'm going to talk for like the next 2 or 3 minutes here, like as usual. I'll get the thumbnail up. We'll get that back up, so you know it's a good time to go. You know, check out something else if you want to. You know, go get some food, whatever. I may even have to scarf down some food, but yeah, it was a killer deck. It was a lot of fun. It looks like, hey man, it was still a great deck even at the end of rotation. We got to play against some of the big decks. And it was a ton of fun. But if you're watching this afterwards, and if even those of you guys here in chat, let me know, what are some ideas for last chance decks? What are some decks that you guys really, really want to see? And if I've got enough people talking about the same deck, then we're definitely going to play that deck before rotation. I'm not really worried about playing anything modern right now. We're probably going to have like 1, maybe 2 rotation-proof decks come out of the Patreon games. But most, even the Patreon decks, are going to be, you know, the last chance decks and things like that. We've got one already from Rush. It's Rakdos Nightmare. He's wanting to see some gameplay with Dream Stealer and On-Crop Crasher before it's gone. So you know, there's some stuff there. Of course, you know, he's got some flings in. There's some cards that have expertise. These were some cards that he absolutely loved. So he wants to see, you know, those cards played again. We've got Invigorating Rampage, another card that we're going to lose. So we've got some more strange decks. So if there's a card that has always made you just love it, then by all means, let me know. Let us know in the comments or whatever, and we'll try to play it before it rotates. Now, again, there's not a ton of time, so I'm going to go ahead and call this stream. For the Horde, I posted that last night, so there should be a post there for, you know, September decks. For, you know, all of you that have been building your deck all this month, and you want to see those decks played before the end of rotation, go ahead and let me know. We're going to be firing those off. I'm going to try to do like 2 streams a day for the next couple days, or for the rest of the week here. So, you know, we'll get some decks out there. But anyway, let me know what you thought about this deck. Don't forget to hit that like button if you did like it. And, of course, you know, as always, you know, if you're new to the channel and you want to see more of this type of thing, you want to see more gameplay, when the new decks start coming out in the new expansion, or the new drop of cards, whatever you want to call it, the next release, when those cards come out and the new decks come out, we're going to be playing them. Madness! Can we see a Drakehaven? I seen Drakehaven. I seen a couple of you saying you second to Drakehaven. So there's like, what, 3 of you going Drakehaven, Drakehaven. So yeah, cycling will probably be something that we can play around with. So yeah, why not? Why not a cycling deck? So yeah, I had a lot of fun playing this deck. I hope you guys had a lot of fun watching it. Again, we're going to be back in 15 minutes with the next deck. And we will see you guys there. You're currently looking at the next deck. Should be a lot of fun. It's a little bit more aggressive. Doesn't have the resiliency of the last deck, but it is another Whirler Virtuoso deck. Should be a lot of fun. Hope to see you guys there. See you in 15.